everybody. No, that was not an Applejack impression. I can do better. Young whippersnapper.
Testing. Yes, it's working. Good. Well, hello, Baya.
Hello.
Hey, Flitter Chris.
Hi.
Yeah. Well, my question to you, Baya, is if you have been to a couple of pony brony conventions, do you have a special or fun moment for you personally that you experienced at one of those conventions?
One moment specifically. I think, well, I'll say one special moment was there was just in doing the photo and signing things, I got to meet a very special young girl who was going through some struggles, and she told me about how Misty's journey really inspired her to keep going and to help her get out of that situation. So that was really meaningful. And also it was fun when I was at Everfree, because I was there with a few of the other cast members, and we got to wander around Seattle. And we don't normally get to all be together, so that was another special moment. But yeah, there's lots of them, just meeting a lot of special people. Some people had little gifts for me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. It's nice to be appreciated in this way, so yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
How did you get into voice acting, and do you think you would have gotten a role on a show like this without an agent, or is that necessary?
Well, yeah, so I got into voice acting, through my agent starting to send me auditions. So that's how I got into it practically. I think for in Canada, where I was cast out of, I think, yes, you would need an agent to be on a show like this, probably because of how they send out the casting calls and things like that. You might not hear about it otherwise.
Also the union and non-union thing as well.
Yes, so yeah, and this is a union project, so you have to be a part of, our union's called ACTRA in Canada. So yeah, you probably do need an agent for this one. But I mean, I don't know what the voice industry is here in terms of needing agents or things like that.
Yeah, so don't look at me, I don't live here.
Oh. Yeah, so, but yeah, you would need an agent.
Hi. I wanted to ask, how much did you watch of G4 personally? What's your relation to that? And if you watch at least a bit, if you can make an impression of the main six.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. I won't be able to do an impression of the main six.
Yes, Applejack or someone from that. Maybe your favorite.
I don't.
If not, that's fine.
I'm
too.
sorry. I should have. At the other show, I didn't get asked to do impressions, so I didn't prepare. I didn't prepare any impressions. I'm sorry.
No, awesome.
I can prepare some for tomorrow. But
not everybody is able to improvise on the spot.
Yes. No worries.
Yeah,
no worries.
it's more like if I can play and say, I can do something like that. But I have also a horrible memory. Yeah. Surprise, surprise. Which is one reason why voice acting is very fun, because you don't have to memorize.
And you have all the time you need.
You get to read it. So I don't, in terms of I watched previous generations. I'm sure I watched G4 as well. But I don't. I don't have just. You guys all have better memories than me, and you all have better knowledge about this universe than me. To be honest, you're like the encyclopedia. I'm like, I bow down to you. If I need to know the background, I would ask all of you. So. I don't have any impressions right now. I'm sorry.
No worries, no worries. Thank you anyway. No worries.
Hey there.
Hi.
Let me just organize my thoughts.
Yes.
So first off, G5. Misty has become the best pony, especially through her arc of learning and really growing. And her voice definitely fits her character perfectly. So
Thank you.
that's part one. So now, question-wise, the fandom is quite old now, 2010, 2011. How much did you interact with the old fandom, and also did you interact with like the old cast like Tara Strong or so on?
If I acted with them?
No, if you have met them, or maybe at a convention, or maybe on other projects, do you feel like connected with the old generations, kind of?
Well, you know, unfortunately, I haven't really met a lot of them. I know Ellie Ray.
I think everyone does.
Actually, I when I first started voice acting, I took a class with her, and so she was like a big opening point for me in terms of being a voice actor. So I met her, I think, before I even was booked this role. But no, I don't really, you know, honestly, since like my voice career kind of started in the pandemic, and since then, it's harder to like meet people because they record you all separately. Like I think before, people used to be able to be all like in a room together and do ensemble recordings, which is like really fun. And then since then, it's sort of you're by yourself, and so you don't get to really like meet people in person that much. So I'll have to go to more cons because it seems like that's where you can like meet people.
More cons. I mean, pandemic was hard. I was stuck in Winnipeg for 2 years and couldn't go anywhere.
Sorry?
I was stuck in Winnipeg for 2 years and couldn't go anywhere by the pandemic, so...
You said stuck in Winnipeg?
Yep.
Oh my
I
gosh.
lived 3.5 years in Canada.
Oh my God. You know I'm from Winnipeg. That's where, yeah.
I've lived in Transcona.
Oh my gosh. Small world. Wow, Winnipeg. Yes. Wow. Pleasure to meet you. I know, Winnipeg.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, what age do you go to in your mind when voicing Misty?
That is a good one. I think in my mind I go to about 16.
Okay.
What age do you all go to in your minds? 13.
Yeah, I was also thinking like 12, 13 maybe.
Yeah, I don't. You know, when in terms of like not moving in with Alphabettal and going with friends, that's what kind of made me feel a little older of like not having to live with my dad. So I was like, okay, maybe she's a bit older. But yeah, somewhere in there, like. But I think that also because of her journey, like I think she's an old soul, you know, and because she's been through stuff, that's why I think probably I might feel her a bit more mature, you know, or like having through her experiences, you know.
Yeah, I actually got the impression because she lived overprotected with Opaline for so long that she couldn't really mentally develop, so that she would mentally be very young, actually. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's interesting. Like, it is both those things, I think. I feel like in ways she's socially underdeveloped, but then in terms of like her...
Biologically or something?
Well, I just feel like, I don't know, for me there's... and maybe just because of my being myself, there is an old soul in her that I've always felt in terms of how she deep down relates to people. And I think there's like sort of, she has to work through, you know, having been, you know, trapped in the castle and stuff, and like not having friends to kind of grow with. But I feel like deep down, she's very deep. I think that's how I feel. She's deep. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's an interesting question.
Hello.
Hi.
I first want to say that I think you do a great voice for Misty. It fits so well.
Thank
And
you.
she has had the most interesting character arc in the show. I think she's such an interesting character.
Thank you.
Now, speaking of, she kind of has like two sides now. She has like, she used to be like a more villain role, and now she is like kind of redeemed and friends with everyone. If we go back to like her role as a villain, is there an episode you would have liked to voice act or see in the show?
When she was a villain,
Yeah, is there like an episode where you want to have happened?
like like an experience I wanted her to have in that
Yeah, in
situation.
that role.
Well,
It's a tough question, I know.
yeah, you know, because she did get her big, like her face-off moment, which would be like what I would want her to have in terms of like having to break free. As a villain, you know, like, I mean, I don't know if I'd want her to be more villainous and actually succeed at more of her, you know, the tasks that Opaline sent her on, because they weren't very nice. But, you know, I mean, I always like to, if there's more of like her backstory, like I always would maybe want to hear a bit more about her journey, like,
How she ended up with Opaline?
yeah,
or-
like more of the details of that and her past life, you know, and but yeah, you know, I don't want her to have done too many more villainous things. No.
That's fair. She is a wonderfully bad villain, thankfully.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to ask which of Misty's main styles do you like more?
I love this one. When I saw this, I was like, oh my God, because actually my hair is very curly like this normally when it's not in braids. And I was like blown away that they made her hair actually look like mine. But that I was like, oh my gosh, like, it tears. I really loved this hair color, you know, and I think that because that's how I first met her too, like I attached to it, you know, more like I know it's evolved. But yeah, I think this is my favorite. Like the detail that they put in it, like the curls are just so cool. And her little braids on the side. I mean, I feel like that is pretty unique, I think, in the pony world, her hairstyle here. So this one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, so I wanted to know, through your acting career, not just on My Little Pony, has there been a specific moment or line that you got very stuck on, just couldn't get through it while acting?
Sorry, what was the last part?
Just a moment that you couldn't get through while acting, be it voice acting or any other sort of moment.
Well, I couldn't get through.
Yes.
I mean, you have to get through it one way or another. Well, you know, I recently did a play, a Chekhov play, called Uncle Vanya, that I just did a few months ago, and there were a few lines in that play that were very challenging to get through. I don't know if people know the play, but I played a character called Sonia, and she's a very open-hearted, loving person, beyond like how she's treated or anything. She just holds true to her faith and her generosity and kindness. And honestly, that was very challenging sometimes because you know, me as a person, I'd be like, no, I want to, you know, stand up for myself or fight back or something. And like the character just stays in a love zone and a forgiving softness. And sometimes that, you know, even there's times with Misty too, like that softness can sometimes be most challenging to play because your own defenses want to come up, you know, and be like, no, this time you draw the line, you know, and you have to keep remaining open, keeping your heart open. So I'd say sometimes those things are the more challenging than the arguments or like the fighting ones. It's the open vulnerability, I think, is probably can be sometimes the most challenging because you actually have to, as the actor, open your heart as well. And as we all know, sometimes that can be very hard to remain open, let yourself feel all your feelings, you know. Yeah, I think those are sometimes where the biggest challenges are.
That is awesome to hear. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Doing absolutely wonderful. So, for voice actors, some days they might have like a really short day where they just come into the studio, do like 1 or 2 lines, and then go home. And then for others, they are doing like 8 or 9 hour sessions, and they're having to practice with like different dynamics of their voices. And so, for those longer sessions, how do you keep your voice well conditioned, well maintained?
Well, I will say that for us in Canada, the most that they can record is 4 hours. And usually for voice sessions, they try not to go over 3 because it can just, your voice will start to, you can hear it like getting hoarse and stuff. And then they're like, okay, no, we can't use this. You sound like you don't sound like yourself, you know? But definitely, I drink a lot of tea. We have a tea called Throat Coat. I don't know if you have that here, but I drink a lot of tea, honey, Manuka honey. I have vocal warm-ups that I do to like get my voice ready because I don't have the kind of voice, like if I wake up first thing in the morning, my voice is very like raspy and, you know, so I do my vocal warm-ups, my like all of those kind of things. Especially if I have to do Peach Fizz, then I definitely have to warm up my upper register to get it up there. And especially they want sometimes me to have it high but not raspy because they don't want it to sound like Misty. So then I really have to kind of warm it up. Yeah, those are probably my usual preparations, and not, you know, partying the night before. Because, like, really, like, drinking, like, alcohol really dries out your throat, or if you're, like, out there. If you're out there, like, talking all night long, and then you go into the booth, and they're like, what happened? So, yeah, getting a good night's sleep is important, too.
Yeah, there's actually going to be more about that at the panel after this, which you are free to join if you want to. Always nice to have more voice actors to share stories and tips and do and don'ts.
Oh, thank you.
But we do have a question for one in the audience because we got very curious. The owner of the giant rainbow dash, did you bring it here or did you buy it here? He brought it here. Wow.
Did you make that? Where did you get it?
Can you come to the mic? We can't hear you.
And bring the...
I got this from Epic Rainbow Crafts from, I think he's from Sweden? Yes? Okay. I'm not that sure. He sent it me via package. It was a long time in the making, but now I have her.
Wow. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
We still have a little bit of time left if anybody would like to come up and ask a question. Okay.
Hello.
Let's see. Yeah. Since this is your first time in Prague, I was wondering, have you seen anything interesting or exciting in the city so far? Something that you either wanted to see or something that you were really surprised to see?
I've really just been wandering around. I'm the kind of person, like, when I go to a city, I just like to walk and get lost, and just wander. I mean, the buildings here are so beautiful, that old town square, I went to St. Nicholas Church, and there was some people playing violins and the organ in this like gorgeous church with these murals on the ceilings and a huge chandelier. It's very beautiful here. I mean, every street I walk down, it just gets more and more beautiful. I loved crossing the bridge and seeing the river. And I have still a lot more to explore, but it's such a beautiful city, and I love how, like, even into the night, there's people walking everywhere, so it can feel safe. Like, right now I live in Los Angeles, and, like, it's not a safe city, like, where you feel like, oh, I can just walk around at night. Like, you don't walk around at night, so it's so nice here to be able to wander, and there's families, and everyone's, like, eating their ice. I still have to try one of the ice creams with that, I don't know, cinnamon bun cone around it. I keep seeing everyone eat. Oh, they look so good. I keep seeing people eating them, and so I still have more to see, but I'd like to do a riverboat ride as well. I know, maybe it's touristy, but I still want to see it.
You are a tourist.
I'm a tourist. I mean, I need to do a couple touristy things, but yeah, no, it's really beautiful. I mean, I write, like, I journal, so I just love finding a little cafe somewhere and, like, a patio and just journaling, you know. Yeah, it's been beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
In the other generations, we had a lot of different creatures, like changing yaks and so on. Do you have, beside ponies, another creature you really like and would maybe even like to voice act once?
One that I would like to?
Yeah.
With different accents?
For example, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, just any kind of character?
No, more like a kind of creature. Like, for example, we had changelings in the last generation. We had yaks in the last generations. We had lots of griffins. A lot of other creatures beside ponies. So, do you have a favorite
in G4? In the pony world.
If
but other than
one of them would come to the G5, what would you like to see there?
Another creature.
I feel like you would do a very good, like, spirit of chaos.
I like the sounds of that.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that, and maybe, I mean, I would want to do some little like an insect.
Breezies?
Ooh, yeah, I do. I would like that. I would do breezies. And spirit of chaos. Yeah, put that down.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, as a fellow Winnipeggian, beside the Forks, any good place to go in Winnipeg? Or like me, I love Kenora, or up north, White Dog Dam for camping.
Kenora, did you say?
I love Kenora,
wow.
especially for camping. But do you have any good places in Winnipeg or around where you like to go? Or like Manitoba, like
well,
Winnipeg?
there's Grand Beach, which is, have you been to Grand Beach?
Yeah.
A popular one. I haven't, I like when I was very, very young, lived up north when my dad used to teach up north near Thompson.
Oh, I spent the last 2 weeks around Thompson,
Oh.
trying to find gold.
Trying to what?
I tried to find gold.
Gold.
Thompson up there is the gold belt.
Wow. And you actually were trying to find it?
Well, I did go to the outcrops, whatever, tried to find the quartz veins and everything.
Oh
but
my goodness.
I
Wow.
think I got the raw ore without even realizing, actually. After I left Canada, I realized what I had in my hand.
I mean, I want to see more up north. I want to go to the place up north where you can see the northern lights. I can't remember which city it is. It's not the Paw, because I've been to the Paw before. Did you see any northern lights when you were...
Actually...
Do you see the northern lights here?
Here in Germany, apparently, this year were 2 times the case, but it was a freak accident.
No, you have to come to Norway to see northern lights.
Or
But,
Sweden.
True.
If you were in Transcona in 21, on Kildare, I just went up on the roof and I had even the picture and the video just climbing on the roof.
When I saw them before in Kildonan, Kildonan Park when I was there, but Churchill, that's where. My mom really wants to take a trip to Churchill in the north to see. Like I've seen them, but I want to see them more. If you don't know what the Aurora Borealis, I think is
Very
the
pretty,
technical
very
term.
I don't know the
Magical
app.
lights.
I don't know the app, but there is, especially with the Filipinos, they are literally the Aurora hunters. I think that's actually called like this. So they really check all the maps on when are the auroras and the best time and so on. So you can actually check it up. There's an app for it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.